Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and finally I have this figure with me. I ordered it about a month ago on eBay from California, I believe, and was very excited to get it. I was watching the trilogy of movies, The Man with No Name here, Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and I was just so looking forward to getting him. But by the time he's finally arrived, I'm not really in a Western mood anymore. But he is actually so impressive in person that it's kind of got me in the mood again. I saw other people's reviews and I wasn't quite sure. I thought there's definitely potential here, but at times I kept seeing more of a David Beckham resemblance in the face than Clint Eastwood. But I've got to say, in person, there's no denying it. It is very accurate to Clint Eastwood from this era. I've got some footage outdoors in the natural light, so I'm going to splice that in the review. But I'm really looking forward to doing this one. I'm quite excited, pleasantly surprised. So do me a favor, drop a like on this video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333 because there's going to be plenty of pictures going up on there. I hope you enjoy this one, folks. You get a decent amount of hands, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, including the other two that are on the body right now. So 9 hands. And they all look really good. Great sculpts, great detail. And the fingernails look pretty good. You've even got the cuticles on there, so well done on the hands. Very nice. And here's a rifle. Terrible with guns. That's a rifle, isn't it? But it's plastic, as is his gun in his holster there. We'll get a close look at that in a minute. So before he arrived, because I've got a bit of experience now with the caustic plastic Western figures, which have real leather parts and real metal and wood weapons. Very, very impressive pieces. So I thought, you know, this one's not going to be anywhere near as good because it doesn't have the metal and wood parts. But I've got to be honest, man, I don't really mind now that he's here. Like, the plastic weapons look great. The faux leather, or whatever you want to call it, pleather, belt and the holster seems quite tough when you touch it, so I don't think that's going to be deteriorating away anytime soon. Should be okay. And the sheepskin vest is super thin, so it keeps him looking nice and slim. And the body they've used for Clint Eastwood here is fantastic. It's nice and tall, definitely taller than your average 1/6 scale body, and slim as well. The proportions are really good. And the height is really good. We'll do a little height comparison with other characters as well during the video, but gotta say, man, this is impressive. Well done, Sideshow. I wasn't sure. I thought it was maybe going to be like a 7 out of 10 or an 8. I don't know. We'll see. Got to do the review, and as I'm posing him, I'll learn more. And that's all coming up. So, just first impressions, though, very happy. But you also get the Rock from the end scene of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and his poncho, which is like an olive green on one side and like a light brown on the other side. Now in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, at the end of the movie, when he finally puts this back on again, I was waiting the whole movie. It's like 3 hours long, and I'm thinking, just put on the damn clothes. That's the whole reason I'm watching these films, is to check for accuracy. And he didn't wear it until the very end. But in the other two movies, A Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More, he was more wearing the olive green on the outside when he wore this, which I really like the look of. But at the end of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, it's more the brown side, which I'm not as in love with as the green. But unfortunately, the green side has this big ass seam, so I'll just show you the brown side. No real seam. I mean, obviously a little one, but it's much worse on the other side. But this is the side I guess you're obviously supposed to have over him showing. But the green, yeah, that's just, I remember when I first saw that in one of the early reviews, my heart sank. I was like, damn it, I really wanted to display it with this side showing. You can still do that by, you know, kind of folding it over his shoulder and having part of it showing, but you'll never really, with this one at least, be able to have a full green kind of poncho hanging around him. I guess you'd have to go custom for that. If anyone knows of anyone who makes custom ponchos or is doing one themselves, get in touch, because I would definitely like a nice olive green one. The material is nice though. It hangs nice, and it's very nice and thin. It hangs properly, so it is cool. Alright, now I've got him on the rotating base, in a simple pose, just got the gun drawn, but look at that, that's pure Eastwood. When the light catches his eyes as he came around there, he looks so alive. I would have definitely opted for a, just a single piece head and neck. You can do just as much with those, and they look so much better. I hate the side view. It's a shame because it's a really strong likeness from every angle, especially the side profile, but you get that horrible joint transition between the head and the neck. I would have definitely gone with just a single sculpt. You can still tilt the head forward and back and to the side and turn it left and right, so why not go for full realism? Because the sleeve covers the wrist joint nicely, and there's no other joints on display. Zoom in, you get the look in the eyes there. I wish, right in, like the crow's feet wrinkles that he has, I wish they were a bit more prominent on this. That would just kill it, like, completely. They are there, it seems. I'll have to really get in close and check for myself. I was just watching other people's videos before when I was waiting for this to arrive, but I think they are there. They're just quite subtle, and they're not subtle in the film. They're really vital to the man with no name. Got to get those crow's feet deep in the skin, but I'll see how prominent they are when I get closer in a minute. But yeah, that is, I think, just an amazing sculpt. Pretty decent paint as well. I'm very impressed. Just getting close here, you can definitely see the crow's feet in the corner of the eyes. I just wish they were a bit more prominent. You get in close enough you can see them, but from regular viewing distance it's quite subtle. The lips are quite dark compared to the skin. The facial hair could be a little bit more, a bit stronger. And it's all to do with the paint, really. The sculpt is there. The likeness. The hat is fully sculpted as well. It's nicely done. It's good detail on it. Good texture. Paint work. No issues with that. I just got him looking upwards now, just to get a really clear look at the face. So the hat is non-removable, it's part of the sculpt, so don't try removing the hat. And the cigarello is stuck in his mouth as well. I don't think you're supposed to try and remove that. I wouldn't try. I think it's all one thing. Alright, now change the pose. We've got him firing off some rounds here. It looks amazing, but again, coming back to that head and neck transition, because I've got him slightly turned to the side, the stubble no longer matches up with the stubble on the neck, and it looks very odd. Another reason why you should, especially with something like this, I think you should go for the single sculpt. But otherwise, it's a great looking figure in a pretty cool pose. It's nice that all of the hand sculpts come with the wrist pegs attached, so they just stay in there and you can just switch them out nice and easy. That's always a relief. Don't know why Hot Toys don't do that. I do like the idea of the magnets, as long as they're strong. Yep, that's pretty iconic looking. Again, the proportions, the height, the stance, the look of him, it all looks very accurate to me. I actually rewatched for a fistful of dollars. Still not sure which one's my favourite. And I'll say, because I put out on social media when I finished watching The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, that I didn't like it that much. And I think it was mainly because, to me, really, that was Tuco's movie. I mean, they're all in it, but it just seemed like a Tuco movie to me. And I wasn't keen on him the first time I watched it, but then I found myself thinking about his scenes later on that day and the next few days, and starting to warm to him and kind of craving to watch it again, which I haven't done yet, but I will watch The Good, the Bad and the Ugly again. But I was watching those movies specifically, in preparation for this figure arriving. So I was looking for scenes with Blondie here with the poncho on and this outfit, and that's what I was really looking for. So I was just a bit surprised with the third movie that he wasn't even really wearing this outfit until the end. And obviously this is just, nerdy figure stuff. He can wear whatever the hell he wants, but the outfit he was wearing at the beginning of the movie when he was had that little deal going with Tuco where he kept rescuing him at the last minute when he was about to be hanged, That outfit was pretty cool. But yeah, I think definitely between the first two movies, maybe the first one, Fistful of Dollars, just really love that scene when he first rides into town, and yeah, it's good stuff, man. No one did it like Clint. Nobody. If Sideshow do an Unforgiven, I figure that would be a dream come true for me. That's the one I'd want the most, is Clint Eastwood from Unforgiven, in the look from the end of the film when he goes into the bar and starts shooting the place up. Badass. Check out Unforgiven if you haven't seen it, folks. It's my favourite Western of all time. That's the one. It's a shame that the Spurs are plastic and they don't move, or they don't spin. Well, they do move up and down, but yeah, they don't spin at the back there. And the caustic plastic ones do, and they are metal. And I was thinking about this because Sideshow Collectibles are one of the biggest collectible companies on the planet, and they've been around a long, long time, and they can afford to, do something like a partnership with Clint Eastwood, who's never done anything like this before, I don't think, not officially. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't really remember any official figures of him in the past. Maybe statues, but it's a big deal. And I just think I can forgive the non-leather belt and holster and the non-wood and metal guns, but give me a little turn action on the Spurs, just a little bit of realism back there. And if Caustic Plastic, a little company, it's only a little company in Italy, small group of people, and they're able to produce figures that have real metal and wood and leather parts. And I just wonder why Sideshow didn't or couldn't. I'm pretty sure they could. Maybe wanted to keep the cost of the figure down, but when it comes to this Clint Eastwood Legacy Collection, especially something as iconic as Blondie here, I think collectors would be willing to spend a little bit more, and would be even tempted to seal the deal and actually buy this if it had something as impressive as real metal Spurs that spin, and a leather belt and a metal gun with wooden handles and all that stuff. And he's able to reach his arms straight out in front of him. He does have a double bend elbow as well, which is always handy. Get those poses in, I'll show you that in a minute. It will expose the wrist peg pretty badly, but I don't really think the paint job on the hands matches the tone of the skin on the arms very well, but we'll get a look at that in a minute. But posability is really good. Even got him kind of stepping forward a little bit here. Balances really well. And so far, no matter what you do with him, he looks 100% badass 100% of the time. Just want to show you that double bend in the elbow. Allows you to get the gun up nice and high. Now, I'll tell you the truth, I was worried about this little bit of thread that's holding the vest together coming undone, and damn it if I was ever going to be able to get that done up again. So I put the tiniest little drop of glue in the main knot, and that should never come undone now, hopefully. I have no reason to ever swap the body on this guy because they did a really good job with that. Wow. That looked good. Look at the little glint in Clint in his eye there. It's very alive. I did my best to hide the wrist peg as well. So it's clean. It's a clean pose right there. Let's get this one turning. You can see the bullets all the way around to the back. Really nice stitch work on the belt as well. Right, now the gun, I thought I was pretty impressed with this, but then I noticed this weird blobby paint thing going on here. What's that about? Let me just zoom in. What is that? I turned it over and it's not like that on the other side. Just turn it over. Yeah, on that side it's just like a silver color, like a withered silver. But then on the other side we have, maybe it's film accurate. Shit, I don't know. Is it? Is that meant to be like that? Okay. Well, you let me know in the comments. Otherwise, it's nice looking. I mean, I guess I could fix it if I had to. And his rifle here is nice. It's big, it's long, it's plastic, and it's painted well. Some parts of it move, like the hammer back there at the top. Does this also? Yes, it does. That moves, and that moves. Nice wood grain effect. Nice bit of weathering as well. It's good. It will get the job done. That's the great thing about the double bend in the elbow. You can get his hand all the way up to look like he's, interacting with his cigarillo. Although there's no way to disguise the wrist peg when you do this pose. Maybe. I guess if you had like one of those custom gauntlets that he had on in the second film, that would cover that up, and then you could pose him like this. Alright, let's do it. Let's try and recreate this iconic pose exactly as it appears here. Can it be done? Looks simple enough, but it's all down to that poncho. Very handy. I'm going to have this here when I'm trying to recreate the pose. Wish me luck. Alright, so I'm just showing you how I'm getting along here. First thing I've got to do, obviously, is get the hands correct and the position of the arms and the position of that leg. See, the sleeves on the real thing come up a little bit higher. They're not as long as they are on the sideshow figure. And that leg is definitely his left leg, coming out to the front slightly to the side. Well, quite to the side really, but yeah, it's hard to tell exactly if it's coming forward. But the main problem is going to be getting the poncho to look exactly like that. I think I've seen people do it though, so should be fine. I got it done. I can't believe it. It looks pretty much perfect. Notice the folds the amount of it in certain places. Coming down here, and we come over here. Same damn thing. Looks good. I mean, it's pretty brightly lit right now and the head isn't on, but it looks pretty good. You want to know how I did it? I cheated, because no one's going to see the back when he's on display, and I want this to look accurate, and it's very crude, you know. I just literally opened up my drawer and just found a quick solution. Obviously you could use very fine pins if you want it to be a bit less ugly, but yeah, I just caught it back like this. There are other ways maybe to tuck it under the arms and stuff, but I don't know. I reckon, I mean, something like this would be weathered, and it got shot multiple times in the trilogy, I guess, so it doesn't matter if it gets a couple of little tiny holes in it from using pins to hold these back, and that's probably what I suggest. But I don't have pins in the room right now, and I can't be bothered to go out and get them, so we're just going to go with these little clippy things. But it certainly creates the, you know, illusion when you see it from the front. So let us now get the lighting sorted out a little bit better and get the head sculpt on there and see how this looks. Alright, and here he is. Now, it ain't perfect. I'm having trouble getting the arms to look as natural and relaxed as they do in the picture. And I'm still not sure about that leg. It's not too bad. And the hands, you know, they're falling in the right place, and they're the most relaxed hands that the figure comes with. But I'm happy with how the Poncho looks from the front. Now, I probably won't display him like that, because while it's trying to recreate such an iconic image, I just think it'll look so much better, you know, holding the gun and pointing it out, and something a little bit more dangerous. Such an idiot. In my anticipation for getting this figure, I bought this beautiful backdrop that I intended to use in the review. So yeah, I just remembered to get that out. It's beautiful. It's going to be very handy for a nice showcase video. I'll definitely bring that to you folks, and I can use other Western figures with this as well. It's designed for Detolfs. It's about yay big, and yeah, it's beautiful. Really, really nice. As soon as you zoom in, he's in the world. Still in that iconic pose, best as I could do. So that is basically what you would be looking at in your Detolf if you had this backdrop and the figure posed like this. It's pretty sweet. And you could always, you know, put this little rock that he comes with, just to make it a little bit more three-dimensional. We've got a little rock here, put that there. Whee! See? Imagine the possibilities. Other bits and pieces that come with, you know, other Western figures. Little kettles, cups, fireplace, or campsite fire, whatever you're talking about. I don't know, sleeping bags. Put a horse in there. Do what you want to do. It's up to you. This is just incredible though with the backdrop. Seriously, I was just taking some pictures, and just even simple things like just taking a picture of this right here. You can tell who it is. It's iconic. And then you pan up and you see that face. Alright, now here is Blondie next to the caustic plastic Bud Spencer. Oh shh! Alright, these cowboys really don't want to stand up on their own without stands, so I just tried it with Bud Spencer. He wouldn't do it. So I'm going to try it with Arthur Morgan by Limb Toys. That's how they look side by side. Clint is taller than Arthur Morgan here if you were to display them together. I can tell you that when I did have Bud Spencer, for the 2 seconds that he was standing up before he toppled, he was slightly shorter than Clint. So that was the caustic plastic Bud Spencer, slightly shorter than Clint Eastwood here. And here we have the limb toys, Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, shorter than Clint. They look good together though. How about this for iconic? We've got the Duke and Clint Eastwood himself just together in the scene here. John Wayne, Clint Eastwood. Side by side, 1/6 scale. Just have to take a moment to think how long people would have waited to see something like this. Decades of collectors. You know, I've seen custom Blondie figures, but now this is something we can all get our hands on. And with Caustic Plastic you can get John Wayne, although he's probably sold out now, but it's always worth a look. Just incredible to see them both together. So Caustic Plastic John Wayne is kind of the same height as Clint, pretty much. Yeah, they're both level, in line with each other. Yeah, they're near enough the same height. I couldn't resist putting Boba Fett in there. He just seemed to be calling to me from over there on the shelf. So that's how he looks. Hot Toys, Boba Fett, the reclaimed armor from Mandalorian Season 2. A very badass piece. Make sure you check out the review on this guy. He is absolutely incredibly, just insanely detailed. Very, very cool piece. Alright guys, so my final pose is just a tweak on the one that I was trying to recreate, the classic image. I just wanted to have that gun drawn, looking like he's ready to go. But this side very much still in that classic kind of posture, or stance. Very, very pleased with it. I didn't think I was going to be as pleased as I am. And I am very happy to tell you that this is a fantastic release. I'd give it a 9 out of 10, I think. Yeah, 9 feels right. Would have been nice, tip it over the edge, give it a 10 out of 10 for a real leather belt and holster and the metal and wood gun, metal and wood rifle, metal spurs that spin. This would have been a 10 out of 10, absolute killer figure. The head sculpt is fantastic. Likeness is strong as hell. The material they use for the poncho is fantastic. Clothing, all of it is done amazingly well. The body they used, the posability, the height of the body, everything. It's just absolutely incredible. So a 9 out of 10, strong 9. Just kind of leaves you speechless, honestly. I really think it's fantastic, I really do. Highly recommend it, and I would get on this sooner rather than later. For all kinds of reasons. Get it. Do what you gotta do. It's a beautiful piece. So, Sideshow Collectibles, 1/6 scale, Clint Eastwood, Blondie, Man with No Name figure from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly classic film. 9 out of 10 from me. Highly recommend it. Drop a like on the video, folks. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be putting plenty of pictures of the piece up on there at DeanKnight333. I hope you enjoyed the review. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the hobby. See you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.